Good morning, everyone. I'm going to do the usual. I have no idea what we're going to do today. Go here, live here, and here. I thought Ethan was going to be on, but I don't see him. So I'm going to try to fill the gap here. Paste, send, and then move the pencils. I'm going to go over here and 3 dots and pen. And I'll give myself a heart while I'm here. Oh, isn't that sweet? All right. So good morning. I have no idea. I considered maybe reading a little bit of George MacDonald. I read, I can never say this right, Phantastes. And it's an interesting story. I read it because Jordan Hall said it was conscious changing. And there is this one particular story in here. The story is about a guy who is like chasing through fairyland to try to get this fairy and learn more about it. And he runs into all these like little things. One of the stories kind of reminded me of Hansel and Gretel a little bit. There was this lady who had 4 doorways, north, south, east, and west, out of her cottage. And it was kind of like this weird, almost like a Christmas Carol kind of story where he'd go through the doors and it would like teach him something. And but there was one story in there that really just struck me, and I was kind of trying to find it, but he was taking a respite from his journey, and it was like this little town structure is what I remember. There was a library inside the town, and he ends up spending what seemed to be days just resting in this thing, and he recites this story that he read. And the gist of the story was that he was like working hard in the story. This guy was like working real hard. He was in college, and he ends up going into this thrift store and meets this strange lady and ends up buying a magic mirror, but he doesn't know it's a magic mirror. It's like, I want to say he was attracted to the frame of the mirror, and he takes the mirror home after haggling a little bit with the price. And I even think that he may have left and came back to buy the mirror from the lady. But then he puts the mirror on his wall, I believe above the fireplace, and he notices that there's a lady in the mirror, and he's struck by her countenance. That's a nice word. And he ends up noticing that as she's looking around the room, because it's almost like this was her first time being in the room, and the room was the reflection in the mirror. So she kind of comes in from the back, and she sits on a couch, and he notices her and notices that there's a skeleton that shows up in the mirror. He's got a skeleton in that you can see in the mirror, and he notices her dislike for the skeleton. And so I believe this was happening at night, and he looked forward to her coming back every night into the mirror. And And so he starts arranging his room so that the reflection that she is going to encounter in the room is pleasing to her. So he moves the skeleton, and I think he gets like a new couch, and just for her. And he ends up falling in love. This ends up happening. My recollection of the story, it ends up happening over the course of many days. And then I think she doesn't show up. But that image has stuck with me now for, well, shoot, I probably read this thing. Well, I could tell you because I ended up finding the read along on YouTube. It was free. So there was like 2 or 3, and actually I was reading this when I went to Florida to help my buddy with his house. So that would have been like 3 months ago now, 2-3 months ago that I went down there. And I was just flipping through. I was thinking I was going to like read a little bit, but I couldn't find it. And the thing that struck me was how thick the story was. Yeah, so this has 4 stories. So the next one I wanted to read was, because everybody, I guess, talks about Lilith. That's like his classic. But they don't have a free reading of Lilith on YouTube. So I'll have to buy some kind of app, or maybe I'll get some old school cassette tapes, and because that was actually the first time I was ever exposed to audiobooks. It was 5th grade, and I don't know if I should name drop. I probably won't name drop, but my 5th grade teacher, she had these cassettes, and we read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in 5th grade. It was kind of fun, and yeah, so maybe I could get some cassette tapes or something, because I don't have a Kindle account. I don't have. Brett shared with me like some kind of audio book or something. Maybe with Apple, like they got free podcast or something, but I don't know. Or maybe I'll try to read it on my own. But this thing's pretty thick. So you can see the thing. That's all the story for Fantastices. Plus Sherry, I've been on her channel now. Well, her and Jeremy's channel the last 2 weeks at night, and she quotes George MacDonald all the time. So, but I couldn't find the story. So let's see. I'm on page 28 of the book, and the interesting thing about this one is it's got like these little poems that like randomly pop up. Sometimes they're songs. Like there was one part of the story where I believe he was singing a song in order to make a statue come to life of this fairy that he's like falling in love with. But maybe I'll try to read this, seeing how it's Ethan's slot here. Did he come on? No, he didn't. I hope you're okay, Ethan. I was under the impression you were going to do Saturday. So, good morning, Brett and Olson. Good morning. There's a long discussion on this book on Grail Country of Fantastices. I'm probably saying that wrong again. Sorry. I've tried to watch Grail Country a few times back in the early days because it was like a big hit. I don't know. I couldn't stay focused with it. I don't know. Not to be It just, I couldn't seem to stick with it when they were talking. So let's read this from page 28. It's in the 6th chapter of the book. Not a sound, but echoing in me, vibrates all around with a blind delight till it breaks on thee, queen of the night. Every tree, o'ershadowing with gloom, seems to cover thee, secret, dark, love stilled, in a holy room. Silence filled, let no moon creep up the heaven tonight. In darksome noon, walking hopefully, seek my shrouded light, grope for thee. Darker grow the borders of the dark, through the branches glow, from the roof above, star and diamond sparks, light for love. So that was a poem in here. Then it goes right back in this story. Scarcely had the last sounds floated away from the hearing of my own ears, when I heard instead a low, delicious laugh near me. Delicious laugh, that's good. It was not the laugh of one who would not be heard, but the laugh of one who has just received something long and patiently desired. A laugh that ends with a low musical moan. I started, and, turning sideways, saw a dim white figure seated beside an intertwining thicket of smaller trees and underwood. Quote, It is my white lady, I said, and flung myself on the ground beside her, striving, through the gathering darkness, to get a glimpse of the form which had broken its marble prison at my call. It's your white lady, said the sweetest voice in reply, sending a thrill of speechless delight through my heart, which all the love charms of the preceding day and evening had been tempering from the accumulating hour. Yet, if I would have confessed it, there was something either in the second of this voice, although it seemed sweetness itself, or else in its yielding, which awaited no gradation of gentle approaches, that did not vibrate harmoniously with the beat of my inward music. And likewise, when talking her hand in mine, I drew closer to her, looking for the beauty of her face, which indeed I found too plenteously. A cold shiver ran through me. But it is the marble, I said to myself, and heeded it not. I'm not a great reader, so as I was reading that, very little of that landed in my brain box because I was concentrating so much on the stop signs and caution signs of the punctuation. So I hope that landed for you all. Yeah, I think this is the part where he is in a house that has many hallways, and he finds the statue of the fairy he was originally chasing. The opening of this story starts with him getting a desk from his father, and he finds a secret compartment, and it has a fairy in it. And he starts chasing this fairy from reality air quotes, reality into fairyland. And then, yeah, so anywho, all right, I saw the comments going kind of bananas in my, that was another thing too. It took me, I saw all the Chris Howard, George McDonald, Fantesis spelled with a PH. That's fat, right? I think it's under the playlist about a Tolkien essay. It's Sherry and another gentleman. Oh, that's the Grail Country. Got it. And then Claire. What is the attraction of Tolkien when you can actually read histories? I mean, I guess I should show it. Nobody's popping in here. What is the attraction of Tolkien when you can actually read histories of real battles and events? I do that too. Yeah. The issue is history is written by the victors. So in some sense, it's less true than even a fantasy fiction, because at least the fiction is being honest with you about what it is. So you could say there's a sense that it's more true, because it's not lying to us. There's benefits using your imagination because you can grow. Yes, I believe that as well. I can imagine how lots of people might feel. Maybe I should do this. Slow down, buddy. Have another sip of coffee. All right. I can imagine how lots of people might feel about all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Oh, Chris. I like Chris when postmodernists point out that history is all. See there? I didn't even have to say anything. That was the same point. Where are we? I'm going to skip down. So you don't talk with yourself? I do. With myself, with whatever it is that's inside of me, speaking to me. Okay. I haven't done a behind the wheel one lately. I gotta admit, my brain was a little bit, I don't know, after work yesterday, it just felt like my brain was telling me to slow it down. I watched Byscript Garage, and even in watching that, I found myself to be a little just uninterested. With all the thinking and preparation over the last few weeks, it just felt a little bit. I don't think burnt out's the right word. Just because one of the other things that's kind of come up is when I was on the stream with Sherry and Jeremy. The question came up from her conversation with That's weird. Do I come back on? All of a sudden, all my stuff just turned off. It's a sign. It's a sign. Don't know. So anyway, I've been a little bit. We'll see what happens this morning. I got a case this morning. I got to leave the house around 9. Oh, maybe we could do something with this. So this is my notes for the garden. So I am not in zone 5. I'm kind of in between zone 7 and 8. And these are charts I have for when you should start seeds. So we'll do zone 7. It's a little north. So June, the beginning of June, I can't start cabbage or carrots. I'm already, no, what are we? We're in the beginning of May. So really, everything, I got to get some peas in the ground. Peas are down here. It's backwards, but we have to get them in by the middle, and that, if you're following along, I put down a like trellis that I imagine putting peas on. Maybe beans. Beans aren't on there. So we can do, we're also starting the time where you can plant corn and cucumbers. So there's this thing that I do. Well, it's not me. It's this thing called the Three Sisters. It comes from the American Indians, where they would plant corn, and corn becomes the structure for beans, that you grow beans up, and they grow up into the corn. And then you plant some kind of like squash or some kind of like viney thing. And that helps to prevent rodents from coming up and eating your beans. The beans provide, because corn needs an exceptional amount of nitrogen in order to grow healthily, because it's mostly green stalk, right? You only have the the for the corn towards the end, so it needs a ton of nitrogen. And beans are a legume, so they take nitrogen from the air and pump it down and into the roots. I believe the science says that that happens through some ribosomal action in the root system, to help pump the nitrogen from the air, and all legumes do that. Um, that's actually kind of one of its defining characteristics. So I've been thinking more about, because I just got the tomatoes in there, but I need to start going through my seeds, because I'm probably going to bust out the rest of that bed this weekend. We've gotten, if the rain allows. So that's one of the cool things with me waiting, is that we're in a state where we're going to get like 3 or 4 days of rain. There's some kind of cold front moving through. And so, but anyway, in the Three Sisters thing, you're actually supposed to plant the corn by the dogwood flower, is the kind of regional myth, is that once the dogwood flower buds and becomes the size of, I believe, a squirrel's ear, that's when you're supposed to plant the corn, because the corn's got to grow, beans grow pretty fast. So you got to have the trellis in place. And they would mound up, plant all the corn in the middle. Because here's an interesting thing about corn, is that it doesn't pollinate from bees. It pollinates from wind. So the, you know, those little strings that you get in the corn cob? Oh yeah, look, corn. The little strings that come in the corn, those actually, when the thing flowers, those little strings stick out, and for every single kernel of corn in your corn cob, it's directly linked to a string. And you know how you'll get a piece of corn and there'll be a missing kernel in there? It's because that little string that goes up and out didn't get pollinated. And so anyway, the best way to plant corn is not in rows. The reason why they can get away with planting in rows is because it's such a big field, but the wind blows the pollen and they cross pollinate from the wind. Maybe one reason why the industrial farming complex. It's less worried about the bees. Planting zones are a garden thing. I love that your property is big enough where you call it names like yeah, yeah. That actually kind of starts from the permaculture idea. The permaculture idea is that you leave a portion of your property wild, and it's usually based around your home and your paths. So, kind of where you would normally walk a bunch, those are like zones one, where you would put things like your some herbs. Herbs go there because you use herbs, kind of all year long. Um, and then maybe in zone two is something where you would only go to like once or twice a day. That would be something like a chicken run or maybe paddocks for any kind of livestock you might have. But you're supposed to leave a portion of the land to go wild, so that it can mine the nutrients from deeper down into the soil, which is where you need trees and more permanent structures. So I got to start looking at that. I thought about at one point scanning this stuff in so I could show you better. This is kind of a map of the property when I had kind of everything going. You see, let's see, tomatoes, beans. So this is where you see me working now. So this is the curved bed. This is the herb garden. This is another bed. So as the water would come down, it would catch at each one of these levels. And I had overflows. So this is the current garden bed that I'm working in here and was the newest. These are the ones from the pool. So this is the one closest to the house. You can imagine my deck being right here. Oh, Olson. Welcome to Show and Tell.
Morning. No, this is like great stuff. This is
I didn't
I
hear you.
love this.
Hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can
Morning.
you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You can't hear me now? I'll jump out and then hop back in.
Okay.
See.
So yeah, so I draw this stuff out, and that was in 2019. So I used this as a let's see what works and kind of like a journal. So you see back in 2017, I didn't have as many. So this is the pool garden when I started planting the asparagus in there. And then 2017, lupine flowers. Oh, this was the front path. I planned on putting sunflowers and stuff in there. 2016, it was more of a list format. I haven't gone through this in years. There he is. He's back. Morning.
Now?
Mm-mm.
No? I could hear you.
So
I
it's weird.
can
I got
hear you.
green. I got green on the thing.
Yeah. I was testing the let the does the comments what do the comments say?
Oh, maybe edit mic settings.
My settings? My
So
mic
reduce
settings?
background, mic volume,
Mic volume.
automatically adjust mic volume. Okay, talk.
I'm talking. Mic check.
Hmm.
1, 2.
Hold on a
1,
second.
2.
Let me take those off. Yeah, I feel like everybody can hear except for me. Let me turn
Okay.
these off and back on, see if that works.
Okay. Well, I'll let everybody know. I just made a cup of coffee in my thing, and I forgot to put a mug. Boy, senior moment, eh? Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to hear about all the planting and stuff. Really good. Because I'm imagining, well, he's not hearing me, but I'm imagining his zone is similar to my zone. You there?
What the?
Well, I'm imagining his zone is similar to my zone, and I don't know my zone yet, so I don't know like the planting times and things and everything. So this is great. I was wondering about all this, and I just didn't have time to look it up yet. So if I can just steal his notes, that'd be perfect. And then I could learn that. I've wanted to try the three sisters, but I never really had the space to do it because I never had a lot of space for corn. So now I've got corn space.
You gonna do a patch?
Oh, you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. There's something messing up with the connection to my headsets.
Okay. The first thing I showed him is I made a cup of coffee and I forgot to put a cup under it.
I saw that, and I could kind of hear you too. I'm sorry about that, man.
Oh man. Luckily it didn't go too make too much of a mess. The little tray caught most of it, so I'm very thankful for that in the midst of the mess. But yeah, I'm excited. This is great stuff. I was hoping to steal your notes because I'm new to the South, so I'm imagining Little Rock probably has pretty similar zoning, like like zone whatever. What are you? What is Atlanta?
I'm in between zone 7 and 8.
Oh wow.
So we can look it up real quick, and if this thing doesn't act up, we can see, because to your point, they do kind of go up the seaboard.
Mm-hmm.
Planting zones. Let's go to images. And let's go. Yep. So you are pretty close. Little Rock is in the southeast corner, correct?
It's right in the middle of the state.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's pretty close. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Let's see if I can share screen. Share screen. Share screen. We want planting zones. Share. And add to stage. So you can see here.
StreamYard doesn't let me see stuff sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, it looks as though...
I'll watch it on the recording.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like Little Rock is going to be zone 8.
Okay.
So planting zone 8, which would be this guy here. Okay. And they have been changing them from a while. I don't know if it's global warming or what have you, but they've been kind of moving them around. Mm-hmm. So zone 8 says that you got until basically mid-May to plant stuff.
Okay.
You could technically plant corn now. Middle April is good for corn. What other veggies you like?
I missed the corn window.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So the way the way that this particular one goes is green is the planting, and then it goes into red. So it goes from green to yellow to red, and red is your harvest. Oh my goodness! Look at that forehead, buddy. Let's hide that. I had my. Ugh.
I'm not seeing it, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to cover it for me.
What else I got here? Like I said, I haven't gone through this in a while. Oh, I got prices of what I spent on stuff.
It's probably
Oh, I was looking for this. This is my baseball card list. Why is it in the back of my garden folder?
I was gonna say that's a good place to keep it. When I think
Ugh.
baseball cards, I think planting seasons.
You know what it is? I probably put it in here because these are my hobbies. You know, my wife called what I'm doing with the videos as a hobby. I got so offended. I'm like, we're
I feel like
changing the world. What are you talking about? Hobby?
yeah, yeah, I see. I mean, I see it as a hobby. I mean, that's what you change the world with. It's hobbies, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. There was just something, and it is playful. I'm enjoying it, but
Yeah.
like that initial, like I was like, what are you talking about? Hobby seemed so much. I like I said, less. I don't know, impactful. But yeah, I see your point.
Are we really that impactful? I mean, we are in each other's lives, but again, like
It's that
like
grandiose, narcissistic kind of struggle. I told you, I'm always battling off pride, man.
yeah, yeah.
That's my kryptonite.
I feel like these last couple of years, more than most of the previous years of my life, I've really been humbled, and then like you are not that great. I mean, people love me, and that's great, and I love that. But not everybody loves me.
Oh, everybody loves you.
I love you.
I want to meet the person who doesn't love you.
You want to meet the person who what?
Who doesn't love you?
Oh, who doesn't love me? There's a lot of those. Trust me, there is a lot of those. Mhm. Welcome, Brett.
I just had the
Hey,
thought.
buddy. Hey, guys.
What if we create a gang of TLC people that just go around and hug a bunch of people that don't love Olsen? We just like
That's what I was thinking. Great minds. I'm
Like-
like, I want to meet the person who doesn't love Olsen so I can love them.
like we just all show up like a flash mob and just start hugging somebody that doesn't love Olsen. Catch them in the laundromat.
I can see it now. We come up all like stealth, like we're like, hey, so I hear you don't love Olsen. We got something for you.
We got something for you. Sounds suspicious.
Okay.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Please don't do that.
Please don't.
I mean,
I know these go in chronological order, but I can't see what year. It was likely probably the first couple years that these notes go back to. There you go. So you're off to work, Brett?
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate because I have to drive another car, which isn't mine, because it's a little more reliable. Because after work, I'm going to head over the other side of the state there. Meet up with Matt C.
Oh yeah, you're doing the math.
The cooler side of the state, by the way.
No, the West Coast.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sunsets
that's
are
where.
way better than sunrises.
That's true.
Yeah.
I say that if you don't know, because I'm from the West Coast.
Oh, I know.
Well, other people that may be listening.
You're not from
Oh,
the
yeah.
true West Coast.
Well, when you're a
Florida's-
Floridian, that's what we say.
Florida is still on the East Coast.
Oh. Don't get technical, Olson.
What do you mean? That's all we do. We're pedantic.
You're right. This is true.
What do you mean by imagination and words?
It's funny. I was messing with my mom. And she said she was talking about the shortest verse in the Bible. And I go, technically in Greek, it's not. She's like, shut up.
Okay. Technically in Greek, what is the shortest verse in the Bible?
It is, what is it? It's, I forget now. It's like mercy. It's like something mercy. Instead of he wept, it's like, not mercy, praise or something. I got to look it up now. I can't even remember. That's so bad.
It's so long, it's pretty long.
It
It's a lot to remember.
you're seeing my weaknesses. My frailty.
Does Greek do the thing that with the verbs? I got in an interesting conversation at work yesterday about German, and you know how some languages they'll use the verbs to actually change the tense of the verb by the suffix or the prefix.
Yeah, same way.
Greek
Yeah,
does
so
that as well.
Yeah, so that's why, like, when Sherry and Jeremy were talking about justice, it has a core word, and it's just, and then it moves to justice and justify, and so like it kind of tacks on a suffix to the word. Sometimes there's a prefix, but like in Greek, a lot of it so far that I've learned has been tacking on at the end. But it also is cool because when it gets used, the words have a masculine, feminine, and neuter. So, and then I know this is probably boring. It has you have nominative, genitive, dative, and accusative. So like depending on the word and the ending of the word, what kind of word and how it's being represented, which is pretty important, because and the words are what I love about it is it's like a puzzle, because you'll read a sentence and you have to determine where the subject is in the sentence, and then kind of go from there. Okay, this is the subject, this is the direct object, this is the indirect object. So like you can kind of, you know what I mean? Which is pretty cool. It's really fun.
Because the subject's determined by the ending, how they conjugate the ending, right?
Yeah, it's like
and it can be anywhere in the sentence.
That's right. And that's what's so weird is like it's like an English sentence jumbled about, and you're but as you get better and you read a sentence, you instantly can identify the subject.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes faster to see it, and then you already know, okay, like I think one of the practice sentences as an example was like, the brothers bought and sold or were gifted slaves and houses. Now, slaves can be translated as servants, so there's differentials in the word, that the way that it can be translated based on the usage. But it would be like if you actually read it word for word, it would be something like um, houses and servants, gifted gifted brothers, and it's like, wait a minute, but if the brothers is is the subject, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of like that. I might be boffing this up, but I just think it's so cool because there is kind of a bit of a puzzle to it, and you kind of have to think about it, which makes me read better because I think about it more. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been studying it now?
Not long, maybe 6 months. I'll be honest, the TLC and starting the channel has really, because I have like, with school, um, that takes time. And then my free time for the most part was studying Greek. And then when I started the channel, I realized, okay, there's a lot of things I kind of got to pay attention to. I got to learn. So I kind of been slowing down on how much time I've spent on it, which really, it's like every time I see my pastor's my teacher. He's been generous with his time after church. We'll sit and spend like, I'll just record like 30 minutes or 40 minutes of us talking and him giving me the next lesson. And then I'll go back and listen to it.
Are
And
you using like mounts or whatever that guy's name?
no, so most colleges use mounts. We're using Machin's, so which is pretty awesome because I honestly I like his method better. Mounts starts with um, the way he begins is with stuff you really don't necessarily need off the begin right out of the gate. You know what I mean? So you're like learning pronunciations, which is important. You got to be able to say the word. You should try to practice saying the word. And he also specifies how, what what's the verbiage? Like how he's pronouncing words. Like there's a type of way to pronounce Greek. Conan Greek. You can actually pronounce it different ways, and a lot of people have agreed this way would be the best way or the most useful way. But yeah. Machin's old famous, like the book's got to be what it's old, but the exercises are really good because you get vocabulary, you'll get uh, exercises to practice to read, so you can that are all in Greek, and then you get sentences after in the next part of the exercise where they're trying to get you to convert it to Greek that are English. I haven't done any of that. So he's got me just focusing on being able to read the Greek, and being able to translate that. Anyway, enough about me.
It wasn't about you, it was about Greek.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for making sure that it wasn't all about me. I needed that reminder.
I find it funny that you started going into this interesting discussion about Greek and languages. You're like, well, this is probably boring. I'm like, we were literally just talking about planting corn.
I don't know. I'm imagining that's got to be more interesting to you than Greek.
No,
No.
I mean, they're both of equal interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What fascinates me about it is the fact that you can get much more information into a word, right? It's it gives me a sense that the English is just in some ways dumber because it's just so inefficient. We got to spend more time saying all the extra things to be able to more precisely say the thing we're trying to say.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, obviously, English is a very complex language to learn because of the how many words there are. An interesting thing about the Greek, for instance, is if you learned, and I got this from Mounts, if you learn only 2,000 words okay, you'll know 80% of the New Testament. You'd be able to read 80% of the New Testament,
Wow.
which is pretty cool, right?
Now those are the roots, though, right? If you
No,
learn,
they're full words. Well, now there's like less used words that aren't used as frequent. Like obviously in the New Testament, there's words that are way more, frequent, that are used a lot more often. So I think there's more of the repetitiveness of it than
okay.
But we, as Americans, I think we talk in. No, this happens, I guess, in other languages too. What are the idioms? Where
Mhm.
like we'll say something like, uh, "They jumped the shark." Like we know
Yeah.
what that means, right?
Yeah.
Like but if you didn't watch Happy Days, you may not, or maybe you just learned what that means and you never even cared about Happy Days.
Mhm.
Oh,
I just learned what that meant like a year ago.
Yeah, you see, and we're Americans, so like that's why it's I think even Sherry said it the other day. It's all about language, and I learned that too when I was sat down with those Catholic guys in that Bible study. That they have distinctions in their words, and their words mean different things. So from their perspective, when they use the term justification, or they use the word sanctification, or they use like, or veneration, like there's these words don't mean what we think they mean. So you know growing up Protestant, we were always like, oh, veneration, you were worshiping. Well, see, the problem is that's not how they're identifying that word. So under the proper use of you know Catholicism and the doctrine, you're paying attention that you're not doing that. Evidently, I don't. Again, I don't know.
great point. 6:33. We have run over.
Ooh,
Sorry, Chris.
Oh, so Chris
we're
Howard
missing the
show.
song. All right, guys, thanks for letting me share.
Later, guys.
See ya.